Sachiara Ji. Today, we're embarking on a deep dive into something really quite profound. It's the timeless wisdom packed into Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's couplets. And our mission really is to unpack how these short, powerful verses offer you, our listener, a direct path to inner peace
Ah,
and, that never ending joy state of mind.
it was remarkable, yeah. These aren't just like old poems. Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's couplets, there are 57 of them, just 2 lines each. They feel so relevant, like a direct diagnosis almost. And then the cure for the inner struggles we all face, from when you're a teenager right through your whole life.
A diagnosis and cure. I like that.
Yeah. And what's fascinating, I think, is how each couplet works. It's almost like a spiritual x ray.
An X-ray.
Yeah, it immediately flags up a common human struggle. Maybe it's fear or anxiety or just feeling down, negative. And then almost in the same breath, boom, there's the remedy.
Boom.
It's like getting a direct prescription for your soul right there.
Wow. That spiritual X-ray idea, that's really sticking with me.
hmm
And it's not just a standalone teaching, is it? This message, it has roots.
Oh, absolutely. Deep roots. This
Yeah.
wisdom, it's flowed consistently from the first Guru, Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, all the way to the ninth, Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji. That's over two
So it's
centuries.
100 years.
Yeah, think of it like a river, a powerful river with the same current, the same essential water flowing for 200 years. Sure, the language, the examples, the imagery that might have changed a bit with the times, to connect with people then, but the core truth, that
Mhm.
path to inner peace, it's constant. It's a completely unbroken spiritual lineage.
That continuity, it just makes the wisdom feel even more solid, you
Mhm.
know? So, okay, if these couplets help transform our thoughts and tackle these big universal challenges, how do they actually help with like everyday stuff?
Mhm.
Things like the pull of material desires.
Yeah.
I mean, who hasn't chased after that shiny new phone or, the nicer car, thinking that's the thing that'll bring lasting happiness? I know I've definitely been there. Thinking, oh, this next gadget, this will complete my setup. And then, like, a week later, the excitement's gone. Is that the kind of fleeting moment these couplets warn us about?
That's precisely it. And that happiness, like you said, it often fades faster than the new car smell, doesn't it? So, one really powerful insight from these couplets is well, they subtly remind us that the world is but a passing show. Why cling to what must go? They ask us pretty directly, why do we chase wealth, chase things so relentlessly for these quick hits of pleasure when life itself is, well, like a passing dream? So the diagnosis there is getting tangled up in the superficial, believing things can bring lasting fulfillment.
Okay, so what's the remedy then? Just stop wanting things.
Not quite reject them, no. It's more about remembering that life and things are impermanent. It's about cultivating a kind of inner freedom from needing external outcomes to be happy. Reframing wealth more as a tool, maybe a tool for doing good rather than the thing that defines your worth. It's about realizing that real contentment, that lasting stuff, it comes from inside, independent of what you own.
That's a huge shift in perspective. Okay, so
Yeah.
building on that, this idea of aligning with the natural order, sometimes called hukum, what does that actually look like day to day? Especially when you're dealing with stress or maybe like regretting past choices. For someone who finds themselves stuck, constantly replaying past mistakes or worrying nonstop about the future, how do the couplets help there?
Well, connecting it to that bigger picture, aligning with who come really means living fully in the now, right here, letting go of the baggage of past regrets and anxieties about what hasn't happened yet. It's about trying to see the divine pattern, maybe, in everything, even the messy, turbulent times. Think of it like navigating a river's flow instead of constantly fighting against the current.
Ah, okay. So you move with it.
Exactly. You learn to move with it even when the water gets rough. So, for instance, if you're, say, dwelling on a past decision, beating yourself up, these teachings sort of prompts you to ask, okay, what can I learn from this right now? Instead of getting lost in what if I'd done that differently? It's quite a profound shift, really, towards embracing how life actually unfolds, not just how we wish it would.
Okay. But what about those really strong internal adversaries, like, say, anger
Hmm.
or just overwhelming negativity? For someone feeling totally swamped by those emotions, what's a practical first step the couplet suggests? Because they can feel impossible to control that stuff in the moment.
Yeah, that's a really important question. And the couplets are surprisingly precise on this. They often point out that anger's root lies in us rigidly sticking to our expectations of how things should be versus how they actually are.
Mm, our expectations.
Right. They don't just say, don't be angry or be calm. That's not always helpful. Instead, they offer the understanding that if you consciously loosen that mental grip, if you recognize that your expectations are often the real source of the frustration, well, then genuine serenity can actually start to bubble up, even
Yeah.
when things are chaotic. It reminds me of a time I got incredibly wound up waiting for a massively delayed flight, just fuming until I just sort of decided, okay, I can't change this. I'll use this unexpected time to just sit and meditate. And honestly, the anger just dissolved once I let go of my rigid idea of being on time.
So letting go of that rigidness.
Exactly. Builds resilience, that inner stability. Your mind isn't constantly being thrown around by every little thing that doesn't go your way.
That makes sense. That clarity and stability for the mind sounds incredibly valuable.
Yeah.
What about the physical side then? Our bodies.
Hmm.
How do these teachings link our physical well being to this whole spiritual journey?
Hmm.
Because we often focus so much on how our bodies look, don't we? The external.
Absolutely. It's a totally holistic approach. These
Yeah.
teachings remind us that our body, which, yeah, can often be a source of vanity or maybe insecurity, is actually a vital partner in our spiritual growth. There's this key concept of seeing the body as Hari Mandir,
Harimandir
as in
meaning,
God's temple.
wow, okay.
Yeah. And that shifts your focus completely, doesn't it? Instead of like desperately clinging to youth or fixating on appearance, which are always temporary anyway, it becomes about honoring the body, treating it with respect as this sacred vessel,
Yeah.
living mindfully within it. It's about valuing your body for what it lets you do, what it lets you experience in this life, rather than just judging how it looks on the outside. And that naturally helps release a lot of the fear and anxiety that often gets tied up with our physical self image.
Okay. Right. So, just to sort of wrap this up for everyone listening, this deep dive really highlights a clear path within Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji's couplets, a path to tackle those universal inner challenges like fear, anxiety, feeling negative. And it offers really practical guidance for, well, for both our minds and our bodies.
Indeed. And it's crucial to remember these couplets aren't just static poems collecting dust from centuries ago. They feel like a living conversation, like holding up a mirror to your own soul, really. They gently but firmly urge you to remember your own divine spark, your eternal nature. And they offer a practical way to navigate life with a much, much deeper sense of peace and clarity.
That's powerful.
And maybe just one final thought to leave you with. Think about this. Your mind is like a diamond just waiting to be polished. Your body, a temple waiting for illumination. It's really a profound invitation, isn't it? To see your own potential in a completely new light, leading towards that never ending joy state of mind and finding that evergreen peace within.
Sri Akal Ji.